Hi, hello, and a very warm welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to discuss copywriting 101. That is, how to write words that sell. Now, selling products online can be quite tricky. Potential customers can't touch, smell, or see the item in the flesh. Instead, they rely on copy, that is the text that is written to describe the product features, the problems it solves, and how it makes buyers actually feel. So, how do you write product descriptions that sell? How do you write product descriptions that sell? Now, let's begin with the first thing that you need to do to ensure that you write words that sell. And that is, you need to replicate your customer's tone of voice. Let me explain. What good is your copywriting research if you don't use it to write your copy? Head back to your research spreadsheet and pull terminology your customers have used in reviews, interviews, or surveys. So, to replicate your customer's tone of voice, you need to have a look at, you need to do a little bit of some research and pay special attention to the reviews that customers have left about certain products, interviews or surveys, and you likely find each demographic or persona has a specific vocabulary. Including that same vocabulary on your e-commerce websites builds rapport. They land there thinking, wow, this brand gets me. So you really need to make sure that in your product descriptions, you replicate or you repeat your customer's tone of voice. And to do that, you need to do a bit of research on the products that you're selling. Look at the reviews, look at the interviews that people have given about the product, look at the surveys, and then replicate your customer's tone of voice. Let me give you an example. I'm going to use Harper Wilder, okay? All over its e-commerce website, you'll find sentences its target audience likely use, or at least are familiar with. Like the idea that a bra is so comfortable, you can't believe it's not butter, to describe a bra. So, if you read that sort of review, then try and replicate your customer's tone of voice when you're describing the product. Now, let's move on to the second thing that you need to do to ensure that your product descriptions are selling your products. Number 2, sell the benefits, not the features, okay? Sell the benefits of your products, not the features. Let me explain. It's hard not to fall into the trap of shouting about how incredible your product features are. Now, while you may think it showcases your products in their best light, the truth is that most purchases are emotionally driven. Most purchases tend to be emotionally driven. The fact that your duvet linen has a 400 thread count, for example, doesn't spark those I need to purchase this emotions. A luxurious, comfortable duvet cover that makes you fall asleep instantly, that does. Okay, so when you compare these two product descriptions about a duvet cover, that it has the first one paying more emphasis on the features, that it has a 400 thread count, and then another description that says it is a luxurious, comfortable duvet cover that makes you fall asleep instantly. Now, chances are that the second description is what is going to sell the product, that it is a luxurious, comfortable duvet cover that makes you fall instantly asleep, because most purchases tend to be emotionally driven. So copy and user experience should work together. There are so many ways to distill quick facts that customers care about icons, badges, or bullet points without boring people with the nitty-gritty product specification. So each time you list a feature, make sure that you focus on the benefits. Now, let's move on to the third way through which you can make your product descriptions sell your product really, really well. And that is number 3, sprinkle unbiased copy. Sprinkle unbiased copy. Let me explain. Imagine you're browsing 2 websites, right? The first is written by a copywriter who raves about how great a product is. The second website does the same, only some of the text is written by happy customers who can vouch for what the copywriter says. Now, which one are you more likely to engage with? Chances are it's the second. It uses social proof, that is reviews from other happy customers, to make you trust the product more. So social proof is a type of content that makes copy feel less biased. Testimonials, reviews, and user-generated content is your most influential market asset, proven to increase sales page conversion rates by 34%. So please use testimonials on your products, or the same product that is being sold on another website. Read the testimonials, reviews, and user-generated content to market your very own product by writing what we would consider as an unbiased copy. Okay, so kind of just replicate those testimonials, reviews, and user-generated descriptions of the product in your own description. Okay. Now, let's move on to the fourth way through which you can enhance your product description and make great sales. And that is number 4. Avoid meaningless drivel. Formerly top shelf words like world-class, market-leading, and innovative are used so frequently they've lost much of their impact. Nowadays, they're just a filler, taking up space without adding any meaning. Put on your devil's advocate hat, and for each sentence and each word, ask yourself, what does this mean? If you can't come up with a specific answer immediately, cut or rephrase until your text is concrete and meaningful. Let me give you an example of meaningless drivel while describing a product. Innovative office chairs from a world-leading manufacturer. Okay, that is an example of what I consider to be meaningless drivel. Okay, while you're describing, you want to sell an office chair and you describe it as innovative office chairs from a world-leading manufacturer. Avoid that and instead try this. Office chairs with lumbar support used in over 150,000 offices in the US. You see, meaningless drivel distracts and wears your reader down. In contrast, use facts and figures to increase your credibility. And where possible, include numbers and write them as digits rather than words, because numerals stop wandering eyes. So avoid meaningless drivel. Okay? Avoid words like world-class, market leading, for example, innovative, and instead just use facts and figures to increase your credibility. All right, now let's move on to the fifth way through which you can increase your sales through well thought through product descriptions. And the next way through which you can do that is through limiting adjectives. Let me explain. Adjectives help us to explain what our products look like in appearance, what they do in terms of features, and how they make our buyers feel, that is, the benefits. So in moderation, adjectives are quite useful. They help customers visualize what a product looks like, what it feels or smells like, and most often your unique selling point. But an overdose of limitless use of adjectives gives your reader a headache because it makes your content hard to read. I'll give you an example. Take this this sentence example. This relaxed, romantic collection of beautiful cookware has a unique look, up to date, yet completely classic, with a result that's perfect for your kitchen. Now, the problem with that sentence is I've used so many adjectives that it slows your reader down and confuses them. So instead of saying this relaxed romantic collection of beautiful cookware has a unique look, up to date, yet completely classic with a result that's perfect for your kitchen. What a mouthful. Instead of saying that, what about simply saying this romantic cookware collection suits most kitchen styles? See, when using adjectives, make sure you follow these best practices. Very, very important. The first one, use only one adjective before a noun. So rather than relaxed romantic collection, go for romantic collection. Secondly, don't use adjectives to state the obvious. Don't use adjectives to state the obvious. Don't describe what a product looks like if you're showing it in a picture. What's the point? And thirdly, choose sensory or emotional words. Remember, most sales are emotionally driven. So use sensory or emotional words. They make your reader feel something. Words like nice, good, or effective are rather blunt. So instead of using those kind of words, nice, good, or effective, opt for delightful, dazzling, or tantalizing instead. Now, let's move on to the sixth way through which you can describe your products and make great sales. Number 6, tell stories, not facts. Let me explain. When potential buyers read stories, they forget they're being sold something. Any pre-existing barriers to your sales messages go down and your content becomes more engaging and persuasive. We've all been educated to focus on data, figures, and facts. Facts increase the credibility of your product description, but facts on their own don't make your content persuasive. Facts are cold. Facts don't have soul or personality. So the most persuasive product descriptions include both story and fact. Stories engage your reader, while facts help to justify their purchase. Our brains are wired to think in stories. It's why helping a customer visualize the product in their life is the hidden gem in crafting direct response copywriting that nudges them towards making a purchase. A story can be ultra short. So imagine you're selling an office chair with lumbar support. You can tell a simple story about a customer who tries different chairs and continues to suffer from back pain. For example, you could say something like this. Meet Sarah. Sarah finds it hard to concentrate on her work. She paces around during meetings. She's grumpy. Then one day Sarah buys you a chair, and after just 1 month her pain is finally gone. Her colleagues notice she's more cheerful at work. Her boss remarks she's more productive. And when she gets home, she's not as tired and cranky as she used to be. Even her dog notices it when the absence of Sarah's back pain results in an evening walk. See, a simple story can help potential buyers visualize the benefits of your products, especially if they are complicated. But stories also add personality. You can tell stories about the development, the testing, or sourcing of your products to make your products more fascinating or to increase the perception of quality. So how do you inject these mini stories into your copywriting? Here are 3 quick tips. Tip number 1, learn from investigative journalists. Dig deeper to uncover fascinating details. Talk to your suppliers and existing customers. The more you listen and learn, the more stories you have to tell. Tip number 2, keep your stories concise and concrete. Focus your story on just one simple idea. And thirdly, avoid the obvious. Tell unexpected stories to engage, entertain, and sell. So, those are few tips that I've given you are going to help you to tell stories and not facts. Now let's move on to the next way through which you can make your product descriptions a selling point for your products. Number 7, have a strong point of view. What do I mean? Many big box e-commerce sites sounds like what they are, big corporations without a soul. They don't connect, they don't engage, they hardly sell the value of the products they offer. They simply provide bread, butter, beer, toothpaste, but nobody likes chatting with a faceless corporation. Nobody likes ringing a soulless call center. So why create text that sounds so dull, like, a corporation, a dull corporation? Instead, great product descriptions can often change the way people think about a specific idea or problem, along with what role your product plays in the solution. So to connect with your readers, you need a dash of personality on your e-commerce site. Think about your tone of voice. If your website was a real salesperson talking to a customer, how would you like them to sound? What stories would they tell? What jokes would they crack? Which words would they choose? Remember to visualize one buyer and write like you talk to them in real life. So ditch the corporate jargon in favor of copy of product descriptions that sounds more like a conversion. Okay? Now, for example, when it comes to free shipping and returns, you can write something like all style, zero risk, so you have one less thing to worry about this year. Okay, so when it comes to free shipping and returns, you can just write a product. You can write that description as all style, zero risk, so you have one less thing to worry about this year. And when it comes to customer service, you could write something like this: questions, concerns, compliments, drop us a line. We are here via email, chat, or phone. You see? Now, let's move on to the 8th way through which you can write your product description in such a way that they become your greatest selling point. And that is, spend more time editing than writing. Spend more time editing than writing. Let me explain. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Copyright is in fact writing. Yet, professional copywriters can't write in one go. They plan, they write, they edit. Unless you're superhuman, you need to carefully edit your content. So imagine you're talking with your favorite customer. So read your copy aloud. Is your favorite customer laughing at your bombastic phrases, for example? Do they start to glance at their phone because they're bored? Rewrite and polish your text until you're able to persuade your favorite customer to buy your product, Now, here are some quick tips to help as you self-edit. Tip number 1, ensure you've included a benefit for each feature, okay? Ensure that you have included a benefit for each feature. Secondly, ask yourself these questions. What objections does your favorite customer have to buying your product? Have you addressed each objection? Tip number 3, price can often be an issue. So be sure to justify your price by explaining how much value your customer will get. Tip number 4, is your content focused on your customer? Count the number of times you've used I, me, we, us versus you. Next tip, cut unnecessary words, reduce the number of adjectives. Kill adjectives like just, really, actually, that don't add any meaning. And finally, read your copy backwards, as this makes it easier to spot spelling and grammar errors. Even better, ask a colleague or professional to proofread your copy for you. It's more important to be a great editor than a great writer, that you understand the differences between crappy good and, a great product description. Remember, your starting point should always be your ideal customer. Sell the benefits they enjoy. Always remember who you're writing for and don't speak to them. Instead, try to spark a conversation with them. Give advice. Be helpful and engaging. Customers will reward you for it by buying your products. And remember, your product descriptions can make or break your e-commerce website. As you can see, there's more that goes into copywriting process than just listing your product's features. The secret to high-performing copywriting is to listen to your audience. Great copywriting is great research and great editing, more so than clever writing. So please ditch the assumptions and get your hands dirty with the research process. Survey potential customers, interview existing ones, and mine competitor reviews. It's only when you reflect existing customer stories and provoke emotions in your product descriptions that you create words that do their job, which is to sell your product so that you can maximize on your profits. So there you go. If you found this video helpful at all, please give this video a thumbs up, like the video that is, share the video with somebody else so that you can also help them. And remember to subscribe to this channel, because if it has anything to do with money, I upload it because my goal is to help you thrive financially. Now, thank you very much, and I shall see you in our next video. Bye bye.